Are you looking for a delicious and festive fall side dish? Stay tuned. Hi everyone, welcome to Cooking with Chef Rich. Today we're going to be making a barley and wild rice pilaf. Really nice side dish, very classy side dish. The thing about this, it can be served either hot as a hot side or it can be served as a cold salad, so it goes either way. The only thing that differs is the cooking times. If you want to serve it as a side dish, you have to cook it a little bit longer to make it a little more tender. If you're serving it hot, it has to be cooked a little bit less. It should also be tender. General rule of thumb, if you're serving it cold, you actually have to take a little bit out, cool it down under running water, and taste it when it's cold. If you're serving it hot, you can taste it while it's hot to tell whether it's done or not. So. The first thing we have is 1 cup of wild rice. We have 1 cup of barley that I've rinsed off. I have 12 ounces of mushrooms that I've sliced, 1 medium onion that I've diced, 1 red pepper that I've diced, 10 ounces of baby peas that I've defrosted and they came frozen. I defrosted them and just rinsed them off. 2 tablespoons of fresh garlic chopped, and I have 2 tablespoons of chicken base and 8 cups of water. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring our some water up to a boil. I'm going to put 4 cups of water in this pot and 4 cups of water in this pot. I would never make this side dish for just like 4 people. It's definitely something that you want to do for a party, maybe for Thanksgiving, or if you're having people over for, Sunday dinner or something. You definitely want to be making this for like 8 or 10 people. It's a lot of work to do just for 4 people, so just to let you know that. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this up to a boil, and I will show you what to do then. Water is now boiling. I'm going to add our chicken base. You will notice I've changed the pot. Stay tuned at the end of the video to find out why. It's quite amusing. So we're going to add our rice to this, and we're going to bring it back up to a boil, and then we're going to simmer this on high, probably for an hour and a half, I'm guessing, but it could be a little bit longer. So you don't have to stir too much. Wild rice doesn't need to be stirred, but just every now and then. All right. Now this water's boiling, we're going to add our chicken base. Anyway, what we're going to do once this is boiling, once again, this has to have a heavy chicken flavor. I changed the amount of chicken base. I'll be putting that in the description down below. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding our barley and give this a good stir. And the barley has to get stirred every probably 3 or 4 minutes, unlike the wild rice, because the barley will definitely stick to your pan and burn eventually if you don't stir it. So I will show you what's going on as things happen. Once this is boiling, turn it down to a heavy simmer and just simmer, as I said, for probably an hour and a half, I'm guessing. Most important thing is when the water reduces down, every now and then you're going to have to add more water to it. You don't have to add more chicken base, but you do have to add more water. And when you start out initially, make sure that this has a strong chicken flavor. While our barley and wild rice are cooking, now we're going to start sauteing our onions. We're going to add just a teaspoon and a half of oil to a pan. And on high, we're going to add our onions. And we're going to saute this for 5 to 7 minutes until they're translucent. Our onions are translucent, and now we're going to add our garlic and saute for about 1.5 minutes. After 1.5 minutes of sauteing your garlic, add your mushrooms and stir and cook until the mushrooms are tender. The smell of the mushrooms, onions, and garlic is so incredibly good. Once your mushrooms are fully cooked, transfer to a pan to cool down. So if you notice, this is getting very thick. So, and if you taste it, which I just did, it's not done. At this point, we need to add some more water so it continues to cook properly. And over here, you notice, if you look very closely, you can see the line of water is reduced down by about 1/2 inch. So we're also going to add some more water. It's not a certain amount of water, just enough to let it continue cooking. So I'm going to be serving this hot. So this is actually tender now. I'm going to strain it out and put it on a sheet pan to cool. As a caterer, because this dish is very time consuming, I always make it in advance, mix everything together, and if I'm serving it hot, I throw it in the oven once it's mixed together. If I'm serving it cold, I just put it on a platter and serve it. So once the rice is nice and tender and the grains have started to break up, strain your rice out and cool it down. I have our barley, our wild rice, our mushrooms and onions, all nice and cool. I have our baby peas that I'm going to add, our red peppers that I'm going to add. The red peppers are dead raw. And I'm going to give this a really good mix. Our barley and wild rice pilaf is all finished, and I put it on a plate so you can see what it looks like. If you look very closely, it has a lot of colors. It's just a very, very elegant and classy dish. It's just a very, very nice dish. So I'm going to take a taste. Really, really, really good. As I said, it's a great dish. The wild rice gives it a little bit of crunch. The barley's nice and soft. The chicken base gives it a lot of flavor. You taste the mushrooms, you taste the garlic, you taste the onions. It's just a really great dish. As you can see, the recipe made at least 8 servings. So anyway, if you're looking for a nice dish to serve as a side for a family get-together or a party, this is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day and be safe. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and tell me what type of sides you like to make. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, everyone. Water's now boiling. I'm going to add our chicken base, and that this water's boiling, we're going to add our chicken base, and the same thing happens. Some words of wisdom: add your chicken base before the water comes into a boil.